Well, it's 2025 and it's time for a new project. Stay tuned. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. This is Paul Knapp coming to you once again from the man cave, and it's time to start a new project. I haven't done any projects in a while. I've been concentrating mostly on my live streams, both Monday and now Tuesday nights. So I thought, let's take some time. It's the beginning of a new year and start a new project. I've been waiting to do this project for several months now, and I think it's time to start it. So let's go. So I've had this boxed up in the attic for several months now, and I just found another one to add to this collection. So what we're going to be looking at here are Playmobil pirate ships from different years. I believe I have 4, maybe 5 of them now. And I think it's time to put these to use and convert them to 1/32 scale British and French and American ships. So what I have here stored are the hulls of Playmobil, I believe, mostly. I'm not sure about this one. This may not be, but they appear to be Playmobil ships. And there are 6 of them. I have 3 this size. They appear to be all the same. This one here with a red side. I don't think this is Playmobil. I'm going to have to look at that. And then this one I just picked up on Facebook Marketplace. That is definitely a Playmobil pirate ship. So what I'm going to do is try to break these down, repaint them, make them look more 1/32 scale. I'm probably going to get rid of this one now that I'm looking at it. It's a little bit too toyetic for me. I'm trying to get something a little more realistic. So first thing is to see what pieces I have. I have a lot of the masts and sails and things like that in the box, so I'm going to see what I have. Start taking them apart and start with a repaint, I guess. And I have to do some research to find out exactly what colors these were back in the day. I'm sure they didn't have blue decks or gray. Maybe they did, I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna make these look a little more realistic and see what they look like with 1/32 scale Revolutionary era figures on them. Okay, so after doing a little research here on the YouTube, I've discovered that this is the 1990s classic Fisher-Price Great Adventures pirate ship. So it's a little more toyetic, if you will, than what I'm looking for. I think these Playmobil ones will work better and a little bit more to scale. So I'm going to stick with these 5 here. And I've just figured out that this last one is not a Playmobil. It said Chatman underneath. So I'm going to have to do some research on this, but it does say Chatmay. But I think it's closer to scale than what I'm looking for. And yeah, I'm going to go with these 5 right here. I'm going to have 1 large ship and 4 smaller ones. Now I came across these 3 metal cannons that I picked up years ago, and they're almost a perfect fit for the spaces that they have here for 2 cannons. These are metal though. One actually said Yorktown, Virginia on it, so I'm sure they are like a souvenir thing when you went to shops. But this one, you know, that one's almost a perfect fit. This one's a little big with the wheels, but I can take out those pegs there. Now I also found, and this was again a year ago when I was going to start working on these naval cannons, and they were fairly cheap. I want to say I got these on Amazon, or possibly I bought them from BMC. I'm not sure who makes them, but they are definitely wider. I'll open these up and show you what they look like on here. Okay, so here they are under better light, and you can see they come from Safari Limited Canon, so I'm sure I bought these on Amazon. You can see how much bigger they are than the one that fits. This is a perfect fit. If I can find more of these, that would be perfect. This is a little big, so I'm not sure how they're going to work. But I picked up 6 of those. I'm sure they won't go to waste. I can use them in a diorama somewhere, but I'm going to start looking for more of these metal ones, and I think those work nice. So I placed the cannons on the ships. And these ones actually aren't too bad. I thought they'd look too large, but they might work. If I can find one more metal one for this one, I can probably, and on the pirate ship, the large one, these actually are perfect. I don't have to even cut a divot or anything in here, like these holes are cut here. So I may be able to just get away with putting 4 or 6 of these on this and be able to use that. I don't think this large one will work on this, only because it's a little bit too big. I don't know. We'll have to see once I take it all apart, but I may be able to get away with this and just buy a couple more of these and make it simple on myself. So here's what one figure looks like, just for scale, to give you some idea. I believe this is smaller than the ideal one, but it's almost a perfect size. Again, the ships are not to scale for sure. Now this is gonna have to come off because there's no way. I mean, that looks way too big, way too out of scale. So I'll probably cut that out and come up with some other type of wheel there, or just leave it open. Yeah, as far as looking like 1/32 scale, I mean, it's pretty darn close, I would say. So I guess my next step for all these is take them apart and give them a good cleaning. Okay, so we moved this project into the man cave, and I've set up a temporary table here where I can work on these. I guess the first part is to start breaking down and taking off all these extra bits and pieces that I can remove, and then take the whole thing apart, clean them, and then figure out what color I'm going to paint these. I've done some research on ships of that era. They were pretty basic. Most of them, I would say, were probably, this dark brown color, or maybe something like this. I don't know if I want to do them all like that, but I know they weren't very well decorated. They were warships. So we're going to do a little more research before I spray paint these, but I want to make them all very similar. Again, one large fleet, and yeah. So again, we're going to first start taking off all these little bits and pieces and give them a good cleaning. So taking these smaller ones apart before I clean them, there are only 5 screws. Pretty simple, all on top. This top piece will separate from the bottom. Inside there you had this little piece which just lifts out. You can see how dirty this is, so everything's going to get a nice cleaning. And then there was this piece of foam in here, I'm sure to keep it afloat if kids wanted to put it in the water, so you can leave it or take it out. And then there's it appears to be a weight, maybe, just holding it down. I'm debating on taking the wheels off or leaving them. I don't think it's going to really matter. You're not really going to see them underneath. I might remove that weight just to make it a little lighter. But yeah, pretty simple. So this one here has the black base. It'll get a brown coat like the rest of them. This one had the blue, which I'm pretty sure didn't exist. So we're going to go with like a tan color, I think, for the deck. Maybe a rust color. I'm not sure yet, but try to make them all match. I'm not too concerned with the decal on the side. Hopefully that'll come off pretty easy in the water. Clean that up, and I could paint something better than what's on there now. So yeah, if you're thinking about taking one of these apart, that's really all it is 5 screws. Separates the deck from the base, and then I think you're good to start painting. Now here's the third one of these smaller ships that I have. Again, they're all the same. Once you detach the top 5 screws, you're left with the lower cargo bay area. That just lifts right out. You have this foam piece, which I'm tossing, and then you're left with this metal bar here, which is just a ballast weight. Once you take that out, it lightens the ship up a lot. I don't think it's needed since these aren't going into water. And now it's nice and light. I'm going to keep the wheels only because I think it's keeping it from turning side to side. It's keeping it a little more straight up. So, and then I can use these heavy bars for when I'm working in the garage to weight stuff down. So that's what you're left with. And then if you really want, if you don't want to paint these the same color as your deck, it's much easier to get to them from this side. Just do that, get a pair of pliers, squeeze those together and push them through. Same with your anchor piece here. You just squeeze these 2 tabs together and push it out. Now this 4th ship that I'm working on is not Playmobil. On the bottom it does say copyright Chapmay. Doesn't have a year on there, but I'd really like to know what set or what all came with this. I do have 2 masts, but you can see all the detail, man. It's going to look really cool, I think, once it's painted and weathered. Kind of like this. But, yeah, so looking forward to working on this one. I wouldn't mind getting another one of these if I could find it. Again, not sure what set or what all came with this, but so it looks as if there's just like the other one, screws. I'm seeing 6 of them, 2, 4, maybe 7 on the top. And this does have wheels on the bottom. Not sure what the center thing was here, what it's missing, but probably going to leave the wheels on this as well. And take it apart and clean it up first. Okay, so just like the other 3 ships, this one only had 5 screws on top holding it. They are much longer though than the other screws, and they were in there pretty tight, so make sure you get yourself some vice grips. And you're going to need a nice long thin one to get down into some of these holes, so your drill is not going to work for those. But again, just 3 wheels on the bottom. Looks just like it needs a good cleaning. There was no metal, nothing on this, and the only thing I have to worry about is taking out this grate. And you can't get access from it from the bottom, so I guess they may have glued it in or stuck it in from the top. So unless I paint it the same color, I may have to leave it in and come again later and paint it a different color. But again, 5 screws and it's apart. Now with this large pirate ship, you have 7 screw holes from the top. So once this is removed, you can see a much larger foam piece on the inside, so we can scrap that. And there's no lead weight, no ballast on this one. So really that's what you're left with. It's just the shell. So again, we're gonna paint the bottoms, the hulls of these all the same color, and then decide what we're gonna do with the top deck. This is the only one I really want to save the decals, because I think that looks really cool. I don't think I can do any better than that. So we're not going to do a heavy washing on this. We're going to try to keep it as dry as we can on the side. This one is the cleanest one though. This one looks like it was kept inside. I don't think this kid played outside with it much. So there you go, all taken apart and ready to clean. As I'm working on these, I'm trying to keep things separate so I know what went with what when I put it back together. However, it looks like these hulls are the exact same mold. I don't see anything different other than one is gray, one is brown, and one is black. So I'm assuming the tops of these, despite the color differences, blue and gray or what have you, will fit on any one of these. So I'm just going to wash them up and not worry too much about keeping everything together. Of course, the Chatmay one is totally different, and the large one, I only have one of those, so I don't have to worry about that. Now, I was worried about these decals, but they are vinyl and they are super, super nice coming off. Very easy. Playmobil, you did a great job putting this stuff together. So they are all clean and now drying. I didn't have to worry too much about this one with the decals coming off. Like I said, they were vinyl, so I was able to get it wet and clean it, not peel off. Playmobil did the right thing, because you know, I wasn't thinking, but they have to be vinyl in order for kids to get these in the bathtub and play with them. They would have to get wet, and if they were paper stickers, they would have peeled off the minute they put them in. So nice job, Playmobil, on that. And of course, I love nothing more than dirty water, which tells me whatever kids had these, owned these before I got them, played with them the way they should be, outside, getting them dirty, having fun, not models to set on a shelf. Well, I think I'm going to end the video here and call this part 1. I don't want this video to go too long. Right now I'm waiting for some parts that I ordered to complete these, some rope and rigging, and I just picked up the paints. So we're going to paint it, put it back together, and have all the cannons and figures on them in our next episode. So as always, thanks for watching, and keep on collecting.